On this week's episode of the pod, we talk about why blue belts quit Jiu Jitsu, how to build your game, and of course, more listener questions. Let's get muddy.
Welcome back to the pod, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Kenny. I'm here with Matt. We are 1 week post CJI. How you feeling, brother? How's Jiu Jitsu in the air? How does it feel for you now that we've got the hype is gone?
We're like officially in PGF season. I'm feeling good. We're back with each other again, hanging out. You know, we said screw the wives. Said it's enough. I need my Kenny fix, and now here I am on your couch.
That said, happy birthday, Corinne. I'm going over to Kenny's.
Also, before we get started, would like to shout out the wife. Happy birthday, Corinne. 29. We're going to say 29.
Okay.
We're going to say 29. Happy birthday. You're beautiful. Appreciate everything you do. Thank you for letting me be a goofball. And just happy birthday. Kenny, you got a Spartan race coming up tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't know.
Are you fucking nervous? Have you heard of is this the one where you like crawling through mud and shit?
Yeah. So it's 5K, which is like 3.2 miles or something like that. 20 obstacles. And I'm like, I'll be honest with you, man. I've been having knee pain on my right knee, especially after jiu-jitsu class, like right here on the bottom of the knee. And everybody keep telling me that that's like a possible MCL injury or possible tear.
MCL's inside.
Okay.
PCL's outside.
It's inside.
The ACL's in the middle.
Oh, it's maybe ACL then. Yeah.
And then the meniscus is the jelly ring between the two bones.
So I have full function on my knee. I just get this little, I can feel it. It feels like sharp pain, you know? But that's it. So I'm like,
what kind of obstacles we talking here?
Fucking
climbing ropes, crawling in water.
Yes.
Like the electric shock water.
I don't know about the water. I know it's like water under barbed wire. I know there's like a 50-foot wall you got to climb and then go back down on the other side. Got to jump.
Are you ready for this?
No, fuck no. Did I train? Did I train? No, I did not train. I did.
Is your wife gonna absolutely mop the shit of the floor out of you?
Probably.
Is she gonna wait for you, or she'll be like, "I'll see you at the end"? I think she's ditching your ass.
I don't. We'll see. I don't know.
Do you own shoes for this? Shoes you don't give a fuck about, because these shoes are fucked after today.
Yeah,
right?
I got a pair of
You're gonna wear Jordan 1s?
No.
That's all you own.
I've got a pair of Nike cross trainers under the bed. The funny thing is, years ago, I had this idea for a YouTube video where I was gonna buy a pair when like Yeezys were hard to come by, when they had just kind of become a thing. And I snagged a pair of all white Yeezys, and I'm like, I'm gonna wear these to a mud run, and like film it with like a GoPro the whole run, and I'm gonna do a YouTube because at the time I think knew they were $350, but then like you couldn't find them, so they were like $500 to $600.
What would those go for now?
I think they've come back down. They're probably $300, $350 or something like that.
Okay.
So I was like, I'll run it. I'll do a mud run. Like that would be. I feel like that'd be a viral video on YouTube.
That would be a viral video.
Guy runs, especially at the Yeezy hype. But and
you've
then
heard the cons of the Spartan race, right? Heard about the flesh-eating diseases and stuff in the water?
No.
We're
just
so
ignorance is bliss, man.
So people do these Spartan races, and I don't know. Sometimes I don't know this about humans, but sometimes we shit, and so when we overexert, and sometimes we piss ourselves. And so you're crawling through this mud and you're crawling through this water. And then the people behind you are crawling through this mud and crawling through this water. And sometimes the people in front of you shit or piss because they're so fucking tired. But you can't tell because you're wet. So they're just like, let it go. It's like a bunch of kids swimming at the pool.
Right.
And you're like, none of you guys went to the bathroom in 4 hours. And why is the pool so cloudy? Everybody's pissing in there. So you're crawling, tired, mouth open. Fucking mud in your eye, water in your eye. Next thing you know, I heard this story about this flesh-eating disease got in this guy's eye, ate his eyeball, guy blind now from a Spartan race.
So I'm going through with my eyes shut.
Like a timid girl at prom night. Just close your eyes and wait for it.
I don't know what's coming. I know who's coming.
There's 3 types of women. There's 3 types of girl. There's the girl who looks at you, sticks her tongue out. The girl's afraid. And there's the girl who's just like eyes wide open. Kenny's going to be all timid going through the freaking mud room like, oh no. This is dangerous. It's dangerous.
So I have this like fucking crippling fear that I'm going to blow my knee out, bro.
They're slipping on this uneven ground, jumping over something.
Yes, like I'm going to jump over something. I'm going to come down, and my knee's just going to be like, no, not today.
I remember you asked me about 2 months ago, hey, doing a Spartan race on the 25th. On the 25th, are you down? And I'm like, here's me. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. We can fucking throw something out there. And I can't even run. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Well, sure. And then I think to myself, like, 25th was 25th. I was like, the 24th is my wife's birthday. I was like, I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm getting wise,
with age,
15 years into marriage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Figuring things out that like, I know what is important.
I'll preface this by saying, I guess touch on this by saying, I have no desire to do this. Like I genuinely, my wife really wanted to do a Spartan race and I'm like, I'll do it with you, but like no part of me is hyped about this. It's not like, fuck yeah, I've always wanted to do one of these. Like, I've had thoughts about it in the past 10 years ago.
Like you did a boot camp though.
Yeah.
Like we've done this.
Yeah. So let's go pay $300 to do it.
And do the people yell at you too? Like, what are you doing?
I honestly have no idea. I have no fucking clue. I know my cousin, his fiance used to run these like often. Like she would fly all over the world and compete in like Hawaii and Greece and fucking all over the place. And she's all about that life. I feel like it's like
travels or vacation around Spartan races.
Yeah. I feel like Spartan races is like it's like things that CrossFitters like to do that is in the realm of CrossFit, but slightly different.
It's the no-gi of CrossFit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we get slippery and muddy though.
Yeah.
It's like no-gi, like, oh, I'm wet. Why am I so wet?
Yeah.
It's the no, yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know if like that is like something I'd want to. Racing, period, makes me nervous. I was like a really, really good when I was in high school, about 179 pounds, 75 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy had could run like a 5-10 mile, and the cross country coach would always be like, I need you.
Oh no shit.
I need you to run. You're so good. I was just too competitive. I was dead tired. I hated running, but the waiting on your mark, get set. Like I hate that whole, I don't like that. So,
in the military, we ran often, until, I would say boot camp through training, we ran often, like multiple times a week. Once you're like in the Air Force, at least once you're in a squadron and you have your job, PT's like twice a year. It's like, you just got to make sure you're within regs. But like, there was a point in time where I was running, I think it was like maybe like a 6-minute mile. We were running 3 miles in 18 minutes.
So how's the post Spartan race go? Do you guys have like trash bags for your shit? Is there like beach showers for people?
I think there's showers there, and then there's like food vendors and stuff like that.
Like the beach style where you just stand outside and just like get the mud off.
Yeah, I think like that.
And then like you guys are gonna bring like a change of clothes.
Yeah. So you know where Paul is at?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a racetrack, like a motocross racetrack there, the Fox Racing facility. That's where it's at.
Okay.
So,
and I'm assuming you're not taking the new car.
We probably will.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Just get muddy.
Yeah, because there's a parking lot, and then you got to like walk. I don't know. So it's like
I was saying, your muddy body's in there.
Oh, I think we'll be washed off at that point. We'll see.
This is crazy, man.
So
I don't know. I'm nervous about the paintballing. Everybody's like, "Oh, we're going to go paintballing."
That sounds fun.
That does sound fun.
Yeah.
Joey's birthday in November was like, "We're going to go paintballing." So I've not cleared that. Mm-hmm. So I've not cleared that from the higher ups in my house. But paintballing, and again, your boy not very mobile.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. Your knees getting worse, bro.
They're getting worse. I'm going to be a hell of a target out there.
Yeah.
Your boy's big. And he's like, there's Matt. He fucks me up every Monday. Tick, 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 tick. I'm like, this motherfucker. Team No Sleep's going to light me up.
They're looking forward to it. We got some topics, some that we came up with on a whim. and then one that was submitted to us through the Discord. I kind of want to touch on that one first.
Okay.
Because I feel like I have a little bit of a kind of going through that right now. Not in a bad way, but just like I feel like I'm sorting it out. So jump over here. Cardboard, that's their name in the Discord, says, how do I work on different ends of my jiu-jitsu game without feeling demotivated? I play in closed guard best, and most of my skill knowledge encompasses that. I've been working on other positions away from closed guard recently, and I've been getting slammed completely. Bear in mind, cardboard is a white belt.
Well, I mean, you first learn cardboard. Thanks for the question. Thanks for being part of the Discord. First of all, you learn closed guard first. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that, of course, that feels safe. It feels comfortable. You're working that cross collar choke. You're working your scissor sweep, your Kimura, your bump sweep, whatever. That doesn't mean you have to open the game. You have to open the game and just find something else, because that's not going to be your game.
Right. For sure, there's guard players out there, but I feel like
the dominant guard player, the closed guard guy, like that guy that's rarely exists anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You got to open that guard up, my man. This is just part of the game. It's part of jiu-jitsu. You feel you're hitting a wall, you might not be hitting a wall in your deficiency as much as guys are starting to respect you more and roll with you harder now.
Do you feel like open guard is there to almost be like a traffic light, like at an intersection to other guards? Like this one position can get you to half or can get you to K.
It's neutral, right? It's neutral.
Yeah.
It's a neutral on a stick shift.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm in neutral, close guard, first gear, boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Chain, downshift, upshift. You got to close your guard for safety. You close your guard. You close your guard for safety. You close your guard for defense.
Right.
Open your guard to attack. So open your guard. Go to spider guard. A good transition from close guard. You're probably trying half. Everybody seems to go to half guard as their second guard they want to try. And if you're a smaller guy, it's hard to do half guard because guys are so much bigger and they say, don't let them grab behind your neck. Good luck.
Right.
Everybody grabs behind your neck.
Right.
They sit on that hip. You have to use your legs, whether that's with a lockdown or whether that's with, people forget to use their bottom half a lot.
Yeah.
And they're all upper body. So when you lock in half and you're only using your upper body, you're fucked.
Yeah, I think one of my biggest struggles was when I learned half and deep half, it was primarily a lockdown game. And so my knee shield sucked. So I've been forcing myself to play regular half lately. And it's getting better. I'd say my regular half is about maybe 70% of what my lockdown half is. So it's getting there. But now I'm starting to venture into single X and play some of that. I don't like De La Hiva because I don't like the pressure on the knee. I don't have a knee injury yet, but I feel like
you feel it. We just talked about it.
Yeah, I'm on the fucking cusp of one for
You're
sure.
getting close to purple belt.
So I avoid De La Hiva at all costs. And even single X, like I'm real, like it's like I got to be sure that I can jump to this before I make that transition over. I do like some of the lasso stuff that you showed when we were at that kind of Poncho's birthday open mat. The only problem with that is I didn't really drill anything like you showed it, so I didn't retain a lot.
It's hard to retain, right? I just showed a lot of stuff right at once, right?
Yeah. Matt gets super excited about he's like, you can do this and that and that. And within like a 15-minute span, this guy showed like probably 10 to 15 different moves.
Yeah, I really love it. But I would say to the guy in the Discord, hey, you're trying to change your game up. You're trying to become more than an open guard player. That's good. That means you're probably a stripe and a half, 2-stripe level. You're trying to define what you're going to be. Keep the open guard. Get off the collar. You probably have hands on the collar. Get to sleeves where you get your shins in and you're holding the gi, right? Like you're holding, like that's a good. And work your spider guard, stuff like that. Sometimes half is a tough guard to learn second.
Yeah. I think what I've been doing lately.
I mean, I don't even know what guard he is doing.
Mhm.
I wish there was more context, but I bet you it's half guard.
I'm trying right now to play another guard or another game that's near to half. And that way, if I'm getting smashed too bad, I can always revert back to what I know, but it's far enough away to where I'm not like defaulting to it, if that makes sense. And then because of that, I'm also learning the connection between those two guards and the transitions between them.
You know what is a good, and I'm like a fucking broken record here. We know what a good guard that complements half guard well? Lasso guard. Lasso guard complements lasso well, because what's that half guard pass where people put their arm underneath?
Yeah.
And they want to pass? Well, they're just giving you the lasso sweep.
Yeah. I've done that. I've done that to you trying to pass.
And then they're for over the top, then you go to half guard. So you can play that 2-man game on that.
Yeah.
If they stand up, then you can go to X from half.
Yeah. They
all connect.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where I'm at in my game though now, is trying to figure out more than one guard just to have a little variance. So not everybody, I'm not a one-trick pony at that point. You know what I mean? Well, yesterday, like I hadn't rolled in 2.5 weeks and I went to class last night. I got tattooed on like a Wednesday. I did that 6 a.m. open mat. Got tattooed that day. Took the rest of the week off. And then the last 2 weeks of work, I've just been kicking my ass. I'm leaving work late every day. So I feel bad rolling into class late. And I know people are always like, I'd rather you be late than not show up at all. I can't. So
it's like something. You've said that before. Like you're not that guy.
Yeah. So yesterday I was like, I need this release. I have to go to class. And I was going in with the expectation that I'm just going to get smashed. You know, like it's been 2.5 weeks. My timing's going to be off. My cardio is going to be off. It went decently well. And I felt kind of happy about it. Like, okay, like this, it wasn't like a disheartening thing, even though I was kind of going in with the expectation that it would be.
It was kind of the feeling of like, have you ever just like had a fucked weekend where you just ate like shit and you're like, I'm going to weigh myself in. I probably gained like 7 pounds.
And you step on, you're this.
And you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh fuck, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah, I went up 0.3 pounds.
Hell yeah. That's not bad.
Yeah. So, yesterday I pulled somebody into deep half. I immediately shot for the underhook under the leg and then swept him right to the top. Like it was very fast and it made me feel like I have this, like this is definitely a part of my game that I'm 100% confident with. And I can hit this on probably most people my belt or lower.
Well, let's talk about that in the next topic. Let's talk about, you kind of hit a lull in your game.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, whether it's life that's slowing you down or everything's. Why do you think blue belts quit? From a blue belt,
I think it's a lot of reasons. I think like a broad spectrum. I think a lot of people, especially dudes our age, come in with this like once I hit blue, I feel like I've proven myself in the grappling world as far as like amongst my peers or my family or to myself. And at least I've accomplished something. You know what I mean? I didn't just give up at white belt. And then that's kind of like all they cared about, if that makes right. Maybe they're not.
They knew that maybe black belt wasn't what they ever wanted.
Right.
I kind of agree with you. I think maybe the main reason, of course, life and all this stuff and, girlfriends or whatever. I've already talked about that before.
Right.
But I think the main reason why some blue belts quit is because they have this mindset of being well-rounded. So they're like, okay, I got my blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Now I'm got my stand-up. And then now I'm going to be efficient with guns. Right. And then now they want to be more of a well-rounded athlete rather than just a specialist. Yeah. And I think a lot of people getting into jiu-jitsu have this mindset. Like, I already boxed in college. I just need to get a blue belt. Right. Or like I think that's a big stigma of why people are quitting at blue belt. And to that, I would say a blue belt can handle himself. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
A blue belt could.
Against the majority of the population. Yeah.
Right. But there's still a big lot of population that a blue belt can have a problem with.
Yeah.
A blue belt's going to have a problem with a state champion wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
A blue belt's going to have a problem with a legit Muay Thai guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of problems that just a basic blue belt could get you in trouble with. I would like to see the jiu-jitsu community stop the quitting at blue belt and at least push it to purple. Because at purple, like I've said, when you hit your purple belt, I believe there are some parts of your game that are black belt level. Mm-hmm. You are a black belt at something. So blue belt is just the belt where it's like, okay, now let's learn.
Right. You got the fear out of you at that point. I feel like white to blue, there's a lot of unsurety. I mean, probably the first 3 to 6 months, depending on what your background is, you're just getting smashed usually. So it's like,
yeah, but if you just listen to you a second ago, you're like, I like to go to X and then I'm here and I don't play De La Hiva.
Yeah.
You're talking like a real fucking blue belt.
Yeah.
You're talking all the positions, what you like, what you don't like. You're figuring out your game. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Yeah. I think quitting before blue belt, you haven't developed any game yet. You know what I mean?
You just learned your way around the kitchen.
Right.
You just learned where everything was at.
Yeah. You learn what's in what drawer.
Oh, I know where the bowl's at.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, this is a measuring spoon.
Yeah.
Like, you know what everything is. Like now we don't know how to cook yet.
Yeah. Yeah. You can make scrambled eggs maybe.
Right. If you're just learning your way around the kitchen, you don't know how to cook yet. That's a good analogy. I think that is, but honestly, I think I would like to see people push it to purple belt.
Yeah.
Because like now I can make some meals.
Yes. I think there's a fear of commitment for a lot of people too. Purple belt's an average 4-year commitment to get there. You know what I mean? Possibly longer, possibly shorter. Maybe you're, a prodigy at this. But you're talking about an average 4-year commitment. That's a lot of time.
And it takes about 5 years to get a black belt in most martial arts.
Right. So if you averaged a 4-year blue belt in most other martial arts, you're damn near at the end of the road, and you're only halfway in jiu-jitsu. So I don't know. Maybe there's like it's just the fear of the commitment. I don't know. I think it's kind of separates the people that love it versus the people that were just kind of like, some people will start something and they won't quit. Like they don't have that quit in them until they hit an accomplishment. You know what I mean? And maybe that's a part of the reason too. You know what I mean? Like I can't give this up. And once you get a blue belt, they're like, all right, I got to the next level. I can quit now. I didn't quit at white belt. I didn't let jiu-jitsu beat me.
Right.
I quit on my own terms.
And on that topic, we always talk about how jiu-jitsu is an antidepressant.
Mm-hmm.
Jiu-jitsu is camaraderie. It's team. It's building. Few episodes we've talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think there's a slight chance that for some jiu-jitsu could ignite depression?
I feel like
maybe being an alpha in other spots, and then all of a sudden you come into jiu-jitsu and you're getting smashed, or you found like on this next topic, you found a lull in your game, and now you're just like, I can't figure it out. I'm never gonna get better at this. Sucks. I come here. You know what I mean? Like, do you think it can be like a feeder to a depressed person?
Possibly. I know that there's some people that I have one of my children. Wanted to try something new, and if they didn't immediately pick it up and weren't like a natural at it, they would quickly lose faith in themselves and kind of give it up, you know? And as the parent, I watched this happen with guitar and with art and with whatever, a multitude of things, sports, etc. And looking as the parent, like as someone who's known this child from birth to that point, I'm like, there's never really been anything that you've shined at, like in like a natural, like prodigy type of way. So I don't get why what's in their head that built that mindset that like, I just have to be good at something naturally for me to want to stick with it. Like,
and some people are just like that. And there's nothing wrong with being like someone who has to work hard for everything. You've documented saying that like, I am that person. You're like, I am not the person who just is a natural. You've said, I'm the kind of person that does my homework. Okay, I'm going to figure this out though.
Right.
And you study and you practice and you train and you become.
And I'll admit, like there's things I've talked about this before. Like I tried the college thing a couple of times. I don't have it in me. I give up on it. I don't keep an interest in it. Jiu-jitsu's never been that. You know what I mean? Like things like certain things in my life, I'm obsessed with them because I like the process. I like the struggle, and I like when I am learning something new and I unlock this new technique or this new this or new that, and all of a sudden it's like, well, now I have that in my bag of tricks, you know? So be it, you know, video production stuff or just, you know, building this pod, like the pod's just getting more and more polished, you know, with each episode, and jiu-jitsu and, you know, training when it comes to like guns and things like that. Like everything, none of it's been easy, you know what I mean? And I sucked at all of it when I first started, but it's one of those things where I have such an interest in it and such an obsession with it that like I can't give it up. I can't quit it, you know? But there's definitely been things where I did not have the obsession with it, but I'm like, oh, I'll give this a shot. I'll try it. And college was never for me. And I feel like maybe a lot of it was the pressure of, you know, like siblings going to college or cousins going to college and things like that. Maybe that's a path that I should take. Or I felt like I didn't see a clear path to financial success in the area that I was already at. You know, I was working sales at the time, kind of thing like that. I'm like, dude, I'm never, unless I become like a compulsive liar, like a lot of salesmen do, I'm never going to be a good salesman. I'm not like that. And then I was fortunate to find the industry that I found, and I've been successful at that, and I've made good money and stuff. So, but I thought that college was going to be my path to that, and it just, you know, I don't academics isn't my thing. I'm a self learner. I've always been that way since like high school and everything. Like, so things that I have an interest in, I will seek the knowledge on my own. But like sitting in a class and having someone speak to me and drone on about a topic, and then test me on the things that they think are important when they're not important to me. You know what I mean? Like if I want to go learn to be, I don't know, an electrical engineer, like why do I need to know about like early American literature? You know what I mean? Like
what's this general ed?
Right.
What are we doing?
Right. Let me learn the topics that are actually going to influence my, I think general ed is just a monetary scam.
It's just a money grab, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why more people are going to trade school now.
Right. And that's what I did. I went to trade school for the career field that I'm in. I only learned the things that I needed to know to be successful in this career field, and I've done so.
And I think something that jiu-jitsu teaches you is that it teaches you that there's a lot of, you know, different routes or different games or different styles you can play in jiu-jitsu, and you can do the ones that you like to do.
Right. You know, I actually thought this exact thing last night. I left class. There's a guy in my class, Cody, and we started roughly around the same time. We got our blue belts on the same day and everything. Cody, and we have the same instructor. Cody and I have vastly different games. And I was just thinking about, like, as I was leaving class last night, I was like, how is it that we've learned all of the same lessons from the same person, from the same timeline, yet we have complete opposite games? Yes, body types factor, and he's not a small guy. He's just not, you know.
Right.
So I think it just, I don't know, piqued my interest. I was like, that's kind of really neat about jiu-jitsu.
It is a trade. Jiu-jitsu is the trade school of martial arts.
Yeah.
Because you're not just, no, in karate, we front kick. In karate, we side kick. In karate, we do this.
Yeah.
And jiu-jitsu is like, yeah, we grapple, but you can be a half, you could be X, you could be an octopus guard, you can be De La Hiva, you could be spider, you could be a judo, a stand-up guy, you could be a top pressure guy.
Right. So you know how like it's almost like, I guess the only martial art that I know of outside of jiu-jitsu that's kind of like that would be kung fu, where they have the different styles. You know,
like yeah.
But like taekwondo is taekwondo. There's not like different styles of taekwondo. Now there's like Americanized, you know, there's 17 different belts because we want to take all your money when your kids start taekwondo when they're 7 taekwondo. And then there's like OG legit from Korea. Your instructor, it probably speaks very little English and is also a massive asshole, but you're going to be phenomenal at this taekwondo. But there's not like different styles of taekwondo. But jiu-jitsu has so many different guards that you can play. You can be a bottom guy. You can be a top guy. Some guys prefer to be bottom. You know what I mean? Like that's their wheelhouse.
I mean, look at me, Jason and I.
Yeah.
We, same professor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? same amount. I got a little bit more time in him than him, but you know, maybe roughly the same amount of time we're rolling.
Right.
And would you say me and Jason have the same game?
No,
not even fucking close. There's not, you know, we're completely different. So,
you know, I don't know if this is a Poncho thing that he's instilled in you. I didn't learn under Poncho long enough to really kind of like, I guess, catch this, but I noticed it with you and I noticed it with Jason. You both have a knowledge, like you both have your game and what you play and that you're very comfortable with. But if you're going to teach something, you'll both kind of brush up on something. Like you're not afraid to teach things outside of your wheelhouse. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like you would expect if you go to Matt's classes on Tuesday and or Monday and Wednesday that it's going to be a lot of lasso. I've never learned lasso from Matt during one of his classes. You teach things that are definitely outside of the wheelhouse. Now you do teach a lot of stuff that is top pressure, big guy oriented, because that is definitely your game, your strong suit, but it's not, you're definitely seeking knowledge outside of what is your normal game for an instructor standpoint. And I think that's good.
I think there's, you know, as a instructor, you need to be well-rounded because your students or the people training under you, they might not be that type of person that wants to play my game.
Right.
And that's the key of being a professor is you got to, there's 3 levels to a move. You got to be able to do the move. You got to be able to show the move and you got to be able to hit it live.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it's not something I do, I got to be able to teach it. I got to be able to show it. And just because it might end up being one of these guys' game.
Right.
Even though it's not mine. If I just do what I'm comfortable doing, then I'm doing a disservice to the people training underneath me.
Absolutely.
There's me and Jason and Joey, there's a group thread. And we said, what are we teaching this week? We've just started it. Because it helps us when Joey's like, I'm teaching Barata Platas. We're like, oh, fuck, I don't know. Bro,
right.
That ain't all right. Like, and then it forces Jason and I, or any one of these combos, to be like, okay, I need to be able to show this.
Right.
And I better do this. Because when I cover a class for somebody, I taught it dedicated a couple weeks ago. You didn't show.
No, I was home editing the pod. We'd do it on a Monday.
When I showed up, he's like, I'm teaching lasso this week. Can you come show us some stuff? Cool, fine. I get to show my coolest shit.
Right.
And I've showed the guys I train with my coolest shit. But like after I've showed, now, hey, you're here every Monday, Wednesday. Eventually your coolest shit runs out.
Right.
Now what are you going to show?
Right.
So you got to show little stuff, little details, because not every class you're going to do a move and you can hear. The coolest thing when you're teaching is when you show a move and the classes around you, they're all circled around you and you hear them go, ooh, like that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like you love hearing that when you're showing a move.
Right.
But not every class is going to be like that now.
Right.
And now I'm getting to a stage where I'm showing what I've already showed them again.
Right.
And I have this guilt where I'm like, I've already showed them this. I don't want them to be upset. But I've talked to some of the guys and some of the guys are like, no, we're cool with that. Like we like going over stuff over and over again because like you said, I'll show something. Like you said earlier about when I showed you a bunch of lasso.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, you throw it against the wall. Maybe half of it sticks.
Right.
So we have to come back around, throw it against the wall again.
Right.
So it's okay to come back.
I definitely saw that at from white to blue. There's a lot of things that I was shown at white that I'm just like, yeah, I'll never do this, you know. And then now as a blue belt, he's going through things a second time because it takes I'd say about a year and a half to kind of get through your average standard curriculum before you start to recycle into it, you know. And the second time around, a lot of things have been like, oh, I will actually use this now. You know what I mean? Because now I have a better understanding of the basics of the game. So it's like things that before I was like, yeah, there's no chance I'll ever fucking use this. Now I'm just like, I'm actually starting to implement those things in my game.
Yeah. And as a professor, there was times I remember I like to think back of like when I was a purple or when I was a blue or brown, I would be like, I wouldn't be upset when Pancho would be showing me something that he's already showed. He's already showed 4 times to me on 4 different weeks of like throughout my journey. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh yeah, we're doing this butterfly sweep. Yeah, I remember him showing this when I was a blue belt. I was never mad. I was just like, okay, I need to work on my butterfly. My butterfly is trash. I was never like, and so like as a professor, we got to get this to him. Like, I don't want to let them down. Like they think I'm a scam or something like that.
I think
because there's that, what's that? Imposter syndrome as a professor. That is a thing.
I'm sure.
Now, if you can compete and you can get W's and black belt, you're like, okay, I've won at black belt. I'm like I belong here. But like, especially the guy who doesn't compete, this like the black belt just from the professor, like those upper belts are, you feel, even they may not be, but you feel like they're like judging you. Like,
I feel like what would calm the nerves from that aspect, and I'm just spitballing here because clearly I'm not a fucking black belt or an instructor, would be when one of the students you coach starts to show success, and it's like, okay, I'm helping guide this person down the right path to victory.
Yeah, it is very rewarding. I get more reward watching guys, coaching guys to wins is more rewarding to me than me actually
competing winning,
because I'm like, I feel like it's more justification of what you're showing. So 100% I would agree with that. Like, even though there's nothing like competing, it's the funnest, like putting it on the line. But like being somebody's like, you know,
coach, mentor,
and like they're like a joystick, like the human joystick, like left foot, and they left. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know, man. There's something about that. It's a great feeling.
I kind of blinked right now.
What about being the hammer? Now, I want to talk about being the hammer because it's always this thing in jiu-jitsu. Like, I'm trying to like doing like, when I was thinking about today's doc, I was thinking about like what we always say and what everybody says about jiu-jitsu and trying to like counteract it, right? A lot of people always say like depression, jiu-jitsu heals depression. I'm like, well, now we talked about, well, maybe sometimes jiu-jitsu can like ignite your depression because of like struggling in class. Also in jiu-jitsu, a lot of people talk about it's good to be the nail. And I've said it before, it's good to be the nail, and sometimes it's good to be the nail put in the wood sideways. I've said that.
Right.
But it's also good to be the hammer.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely nights where you have that and you're just like, it's a confidence booster. I think it's one of the things that keeps you coming back. You can't, the lows don't mean anything if there's no highs to show. And like vice versa, if you're just constantly beating people and you never get beat, there's nothing to ever like show you the importance of how good it feels to win. If you don't have a loss under your belt as well, that they complement each other, and you have to have both.
There's some days where I'm like, you know what, I got to hurt back, or I mean, I have this injury, I have to be on top today, and like I'm just on top, and I'm just a bully, and I'm just mean, and I just smash, and I just freaking sub. Like, and some days are good because it's good. A, it's good for your soul. B, it's good to show the people who you are.
Right.
And it's also, and the only way you get better at that is by doing it to lower belts.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, like, and then on their end, they're like, oh, it's good to be the nail. Right. But like, it's good for, someone's got to be the A type in the role.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I really appreciate sometimes saying, all right, this one's for me, and I'm going in there and I'm just going to, be this guy. And I was this guy a lot, purple, brown. And we've had, when you had your fights over here, John Church was like, I never even liked you.
Right.
They're like, who the hell is this guy? Just subs me, sends me to the wall. Like I was in my, I'm fucking everybody up mode.
Yeah.
And I don't care. And I'm top fun. I consider myself the top 50th funniest guy you guys know. You can't name 50 more funnier than me. Okay. I'm in everybody's top 50 list. Okay. But when I'm training, I'm about business.
Yeah.
And then some people are like, oh, there's like 3 different people of you. There's your home mat where it's just like all lovey-dovey. There's accelerated mat on social media. And then there's this guy in class who's just like,
There's no humor here.
Smash,
It's just smash.
beat up everybody. Like I just like, but I love that guy. That guy needs to be let out every once in a while. That the anger, the aggression, the smashing, the pressure, the passing, I got a busted lip, I'm rolling anyway. The like, you know what I mean? Like that dog, it's good to let that out. And by being the nail all the time, sometimes you can't let that out because sometimes a day you really need to be an alpha and you're getting mangled. Yeah. It just only adds to the desire to be that dog again. And that could like lead to more, I mean, maybe depression or whatever. So that's why lower belts are good. Like Joe Rogan has said before, how do you get good at jiu-jitsu? Choking out blue belts. Same thing. Like that's how you get better.
Right. So a two kind of part thing again, last night went to class, fully expected that I was going to be the nail just because I hadn't trained in 2.5 weeks. I got a roll with a white belt. It's about my size. So there's not like a size advantage. And I got my first pressure tap on somebody. And
God, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. It got to a point where like I got to mount and I got both of his arms above his head. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm in a good spot. He can't get me off. I've got a real solid mount here. He's not going to buck me off. And every time he tries, I can feel there's less power with it. And I'm like,
did you mother's milk this guy?
Unintentionally, yeah. I didn't even think about it until right now. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Kenny got a mother's milk.
So, but after, I mean, I was thinking like when I'm on top, I'm like, first I'm initially thinking like, what kind of sub can I go for? Like, what am I looking for here? Because my knowledge of this position and I'm still very much a blue belt. It's not like, oh, I know I can hit this or I can hit this. It's just like, okay, I'm still thinking through things. It's not muscle memory yet. And then I just feel him keep trying to buck. And I'm just like, oh, he's getting tired. And I'm like, I'm not moving at all. Like, I'm good here unless he like turns to his side and blatantly gives me his back or something. Like, I'm just good with this position. And he tapped and I was like, oh shit. Like that happened. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I fancy myself a pressure tap. Okay. I do all the other stuff too, but I roll with you. You know, I'm trying to pressure tap you first.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm trying to test to see how much freaking fight you got. Yeah. And guys will pressure tap. This last week, I tried it with Naeem, and I had him in a pressure tap. Princess in the P, hand on his fist, had him laying on there, and he was dying. But he didn't do it. Same with Church. Church is like, oh, it's the first time he almost made me pressure tap. Now he said, I've never done that before. You almost got me. And I'm like, okay, bitch.
Now I know what your breaking point is.
Now we're going to pressure tap you now. Yeah. My whole goal is to pressure tap Church now. Okay. I got to get that done. That has got to be done. So I'm coming for you, brother. But like the guys are getting tough because I used to pressure tap a lot of guys in there. But now they're like fighting through it and they're getting that dog in them and they're getting that grit. And a lot of guys already had it, but you can breathe through uncomfortable positions in jiu-jitsu. And pain isn't tappable. You know, if it's not going to break, you're not losing air. Well, slow your tempo down, slow your breathing down, get through it, frame, explode, create a little bit of space. You don't have to make a big, drastic movement to get out of a move. If you just turn your hip a little bit or this way, just to clear a little bit get a little bit more wind. Right. So, yeah, guys are getting a lot better at that. But congrats on the pressure tap, dude. I love pressure taps.
The second thing was I was going with a blue belt smaller than me. And I don't typically put all my body weight on somebody like that just because I feel like I don't want to be a bully. I don't want to be a dick. And it's like, here's my opportunity to really kind of hone technique, if that makes sense. Though pressure, it absolutely is a part of the technique. It's like I'll apply enough to where I'm not just, dropping 220 pounds of jelly on their chest kind of a thing. Right. And I tried an Ezekiel choke. Not something I really ever do. I'm like, it's here. Again, I had mount. What are my attacks from mount? Let's give this a shot. And at one point in time, he moved. First, he tried to put his knuckles in my ribs, and that wasn't going to work. I have a pretty high pain tolerance. I'll take that shit all day. but he moved his neck, and I felt like my fist went from his carotid to his throat. And I felt like kind of a dick, you know? But I'm like, I'm just going to push harder.
And you were just basing with your head?
Yeah. Yeah. And kind of my elbows out a little bit, just enough to where I could stop him from rocking
and position over submission. Worst case scenario, you just let go.
Yeah.
I always tell my guys, like, you have a choke from a top position. The number one priority is keep that position.
Yeah.
And then position over submission. Then we can always reset the choke again.
Yeah.
But don't get rolled. Now you're on bottom guard. Then you just nerf the whole thing. And now your tank is draining.
Yeah. I ended up getting the tap, but I immediately, I'm like, dude, if I was in your throat, dude, I'm sorry. I felt like you were close to tapping, and I just wanted to get the finish. And again, I tried to adjust out of it.
That's what you said.
Brother,
I tried to adjust out of it. But
if I was in your throat, I'm sorry. What? My mascara. But no, I mean, I'm 100% with that. Like, I pressure tapping is my jam. Also, you know, one thing, I was talking to the guys this week, somebody, I can't remember who, and I was telling them, like, you guys, and I think I might have done a clip on this, I don't know, but like maybe I did it on my premium stuff, but some of you guys are attacking too fast. You're attacking too fast on submissions. You're getting to a dominant position. You're saying, I don't need to cook.
Yeah.
This meat is done. This meat is still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to dive for an arm. I'm going to dive for a choke or a fart, whatever.
Almost like they're Hail Marrying something.
Right. Or you're not going to pass the guard. You're just going to go back to the legs. Like, and I'm like, you got to cook.
Mm-hmm.
You got to cook and make them tired. And you also got to think defensively when you're on offense. What I mean by that is you got to think what they are thinking.
Right.
Okay. I pass the side control. I stop. I say, okay, I'm going to chill here for a second. I got to think, what's the bottom guy thinking? Okay. He probably wants to get to half guard and he probably wants an underhook. I tell myself, one thing I cannot let him do, no matter what, is get to his half guard or get this underhook. And then I'll work my chokes. I don't think people tell themselves enough when they're on offense. They don't think about what that guy's thinking about doing on defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like subconsciously higher belts and black belts do this. They're like, oh, I know you want this leg. I'm not going to let you have this leg. Like, and they'll switch their hips.
Right.
And like, first thing is first, you're going to feel like, dude, I can't get, then when the guy thinks I can't get out of side control, I'm stuck here forever. Then you go for a choke, right?
Right.
But like, if you get right away and you're like, just leaving your leg lazy and stuff out there because you're trying to hit this choke, and then all of a sudden he gets half guard, you're like, oh, now I got to start all over and knee slice again.
So the feeling that, I don't know if you remember this, but the feeling that you get when you're a lower belt that is basically describing what Matt's talking about is when you have your move, you've got your submission that you land all the time, or you've got your, your particular guard, that you play all the time, and you feel somebody else try to do that move on you. And because you do it so well and all the time, that like that is, you can feel it and you know how to immediately mitigate it and stop it.
You'll nerf that shit.
Yeah. And they don't know that what you just did, they don't know that you felt it coming. That's what he's talking about. Like you're not even thinking about like what move are they going to do. You can literally feel the move that they're trying to do.
And I'm in your head, bitch. I know exactly what you're going to do because that's my shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's when people try to do lockdown on me, that's how it feels. I'm like, I lock down everybody here. You're not locking me down.
Right.
Like,
and that's how I feel like when I get in side control. I'm like, I know what you're trying to do. I'm not going to let you do it.
Yeah.
You better show me some shit I haven't seen before. Like, I know. Like, we're going to get into a same a Russian collar grip fight.
Right.
Like, let's dance, motherfucker. Like, this is like, you want to get in this? Like, this is my jam right here.
Yeah.
You better switch grips.
You're almost excited.
I'm like, oh, we're going to play. You're going to play? You're going to play this game?
We're going to go, Mike. You're bringing it to my realm?
I'm Anderson Silva, and I'm like, come on. And I put my face in, and you're like, yeah. Oh, you're coming? All right, fucking hey, let's fucking dance. You know what I mean? Like, so like when you get into a dominant position, think defensively. Think, I know what's this guy on the bottom want to do? Oh, I'm on top turtle. I'm looking for clock chokes. What is this guy going to do? How is he going to get out of turtle? He's going to front Granby roll into a closed guard, or he's going to technically try to stand up. So what do I need to do? I need to stay heavy on the hip. I can't let him Granby. If he Granby's, I got to block that hip and not let it before I get the collar in. If I reach over for a clock choke, what's he going to do? He's going to probably try to chicken wing my arm and roll me. So I got to be aware of that before I do that. So I put my arm in. I feel him do that. I knew you were going to do that. Now I'm going to grab the pants on my clock choke that way. There's things you can do because like I'm already thinking of like, what is the guy going to do from this? Because I'm dominating him. What is his options?
Right.
And let me shut those down and be mindful of his options before I start putting my game together.
Maybe even test it. Like if you've got the collar choke and you go to reach for the other and you just to see if they're going to pinch down on it.
Yeah, I know. All right. That's what you're going to do. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I know that you're going to do that. So we'll just avoid that.
So let
me test other waters.
What's that called? I'm just like, I'm basically
working down the tree.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm seeing where your skill level at your defense. So I know where not to put my offense.
Right.
Guys, here's why your hormones suck.
If you're listening to this, then chances are you may be one of countless guys who are struggling to see the results they want in the gym, in the mirror, or even in the bedroom. Most guys are focused on testosterone. However, that's only 50% of the answer.
Without adequate growth hormone
and its end result, growth factors, you can't optimally absorb the testosterone you have, no matter if it's synthetic or natural.
That's where BioPro Plus comes in.
BioPro Plus fills in what you're missing out on to help maximize your performance in the gym and even how you look in the mirror without any needles, side effects, or doctor visits, all at a fraction of the cost of synthetic treatments. Over the last few years, BioPro Plus has been taking the medical community by storm as a faster, easier to use, and 100% safe alternative to prescription HGH and peptide treatments. It's become an underground favorite for professional and combat sports athletes and has been featured in Men's Journal, Muscle and Fitness, and even venture capitalist magazines.
Simply put, BioPro Plus is getting real guys, real results, really fast. Check them out and enjoy your new look on life.
Got questions?
Wendy the Barber, fuck, marry, kill. Cher, Tina Turner, Diana Ross. I'm killing Cher because I can't stand the bitch.
Do you believe in life out of love?
I'm fucking Diana Ross. I don't know why. And I'm marrying Tina Turner because I feel like Ike broke her down and she's probably a pretty okay wife.
Well, Tina's dead. R.I.P.
You ate the motherfucking cake.
I'm probably marrying Cher because she's definitely porcelain, not real. Everything on her is not real right now. But like she's like 95 and still, she's like a Hemet 7 still. You know what I mean? At like 90. Like she was a looker. She was an attractive lady, like in the 40s. You know what I mean? So like I'm definitely marrying Cher. Tina, she's already gone. So that's my rule. If she's already gone, let her stay with Jesus. So
you're killing Tina.
So like she's gone. So there's no need to bring her back. And then I don't know, Diana Ross is gone too, right? Is she alive?
I think so.
I don't know. But like, yeah, I guess you're
fucking Diana Ross.
I guess so. You know what I mean? Because I want some soul. Like what's the Hawk Tuah girl said? She said, sometimes what's good for the soul isn't always good for the whole. But I'm coming, Diana.
The Hawk Tuah girl said that?
Yeah, so she did another one, dude.
Fucking respect. Jesus. All right.
That's what she said. I saw that on a clip.
Evolve with JoJo. At what belt did you find your game? I feel like we kind of already talked about that.
I had purple belt. Purple belt's when I found lasso.
Yeah.
Or was it blue belt?
We said
I found lasso at blue belt or white belt, blue belt transition, but I did not know. I had no idea what it was. Tino Martinez, shout out. he lasso swept me like 6 times, and he's a smaller guy. Like he's probably 170 pounds, 180 pounds, or maybe lighter.
And this was 270, Matt?
This was Big Matt. Yeah. And I'm like, what is happening?
So this dude's 100 pounds lighter than you.
Yes. I'm like, what is happening? I was like, what? He keeps doing the same thing. I keep I'm like, I remember leaving and I was just so pissed. It was like one of those.
Was that a quiet ride home?
I jumped in my Mazda 3. Speed. Let's get it right. Okay. 2.3. Had my exhaust and everything, just brrr, and I was fucking just rolling all the way back to Hemet, and I'm just like, no music. And I'm just like flabbergasted. I'm like, okay, this guy is a black belt, but like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Right? Like, how did I not been able to stop that? There's nothing I could do. It just kept doing the same thing. And I wasn't smart enough to think of like, what's he doing with his leg? And then I remember being almost purple belt and YouTube, I saw this guy doing a lasso. And I'm like, that's it. That's what the guy was doing to me. That's what Tino was doing. And then from that point on, I developed it. I learned it. And I literally have been in love ever since because I tried it the first class.
And it worked.
And I lasso swept like 5 guys in a row.
Oh, damn.
On my first attempts.
Yeah.
And I was like, unbelievable. And then I got really, really good at it. And
is it something that you found on your own and just kind of learn on your own? Or is it something did you question Poncho?
Poncho doesn't teach lasso. He's not a fan of lasso.
Oh, really?
If you do lasso in front of him, he'll be like, oh, you hang out with Matt too much. That shit don't work. You know what I mean? He's not a fan of lasso at all. He's like, he'll be showing lasso defense. Guys will be texting me, oh, Poncho showed me lasso defense today. You better be ready. Your shit ain't going to work today. And what I say to that is, good luck, because I'm bringing it anyways.
Have you ever lasso swept Poncho?
Yes.
Okay. So you've had a little success against your
professor.
Hopefully
he's not listening right now. Okay. So I have it was only like once or twice. One time, but it's hard because you never know if Poncho's always like. One time he's coming off back surgery.
Right.
Okay.
So is he playing with his
that
meal?
Don't count.
Or is he?
But the one time it did count. I was again brown belt, and we were doing situationals. Mm-hmm. Open guard situationals, go to the wall if you get swept. Mm-hmm. And I had lasso swept the whole wall, the Dan Henderson wall.
Damn.
And I was just,
I've been on that wall. That's
everybody, white belts, blue belts, purple belts, Sean Strickland, the whole, send him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause believe it or not, Sean does training again, or he used to. And he was like, and then all of a sudden Poncho's like, okay. He was just watching. He wasn't on the wall. He's like, my turn. And I got him. I got him too. And then he was walking back to the wall. I was like, holy crap. I can't believe this happened. Right. This is crazy. And all of a sudden some guy's walking to me and he goes, never mind. I'm going back. And he cuts the guy off and he goes, nope. And he comes back and he gets back into my guard again. And then he fucks my shit up. And he passed my lasso. You know what I mean? He beat me. But like I did get him that one time, and it was all only because I took him by surprise.
Right.
But I'm gonna take it because he didn't. Like, I'll take that.
Right.
But like once he was ready for it, and he was like, "No," he definitely said, "I'm passing your shit." And then,
right.
So yeah, there was one success, but it was because he was not expecting it. I don't think.
Yeah. Kind of sleeping on the technique a little bit. Wasn't.
I'm gonna get paid for that one probably.
This is Dustin Kehoe. What's your preferred music during rolls? Are you a censored or full version?
I'm a full version guy because I don't download censored stuff. So I don't really have like a censored playlist, and I don't have to worry about a kid's class before my class.
Right.
It's 6 a.m. I do change the music in the class if I see like one of the parents bring a kid like on Christmas break or something like that.
Gotcha.
I'll just go to like rock and roll or something. You know what I mean? Something where I know it's not like hip hop or something like that.
Yeah. If they say fuck, they're screaming it. And you can't
I like metal.
Anyway.
If you hit guns in my head, I'm a metal guy. I just don't think rap concerts are very, even though the poetry is talent, I just think that like the instruments and the band and the whole machine of a a show from a band is way better than just a guy on a stick with a DJ. I just find it, respect the skill more.
What's your go-to like 2 or 3 bands? Like if you want to like, we're going to have a hyped morning. Or let's say you're going to do hey guys, today we're doing an open mat. It's just, we're just rolling. What are you putting on?
I'm a big System of a Down fan. I like Metallica. I like Pantera.
Okay.
Soulfly. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Yeah.
But Hatebreed.
Okay.
There's some stuff like I really get into like the real like when I'm working out, that's what's in the headset. It's never rap.
Yeah.
I'll put rap on in the gym and stuff. But honestly, I don't listen to music. The music's on, but I never listening to it. I'm never like jamming out. Like I don't hear anything. I'm like I like to hear people crying. Like I like to hear like I'm talking and like I'm not ever paying attention to what's going on.
Right.
Maybe between rounds, I'm like, oh, this is a good song.
Yeah.
But like I'm not like ever listening to the music. If you're listening to the music, you're either too good for your class or you should be focusing on the guy's body.
I think it depends on what we're doing. I think if it's rolls like our open mat, like, you know, just go at it. I think at that point, something more energetic. I like a lot of drum and bass, so something like that. There's no words in it, so you don't really have to focus on it. It's just kind of your body's feeling the beat kind of a thing, and it's aggressive. I think if you're going to flow roll, maybe something a little fruity, like some Men at Work or some Village People, because flow rolling is gay and not real.
Yeah, it's not real. Brother, Powerline too. Powerline. I'm waiting for that next album, that Goofy movie. That was good.
JJD DJJ69. Is it appropriate to push your drilling partner to drill with more intent?
If you guys have said, hey, you want to get together and drill, like did you guys just got together like in your garage or you got together? Yeah, you should work specifics. You should drill. Yeah, 100%. Like, what are you there for? If you're in class and you're like way higher level than the guy you get paired up with, sometimes that happens. Sometimes the professor will be like, you're like brown belt or purple and like, hey, teach this white belt.
Right.
It's hard to drill with intent, you know what I mean? Because like they don't even know how to defense yet. So you're like doing moves on them and they're like falling over and you're like, bro, you're not supposed to fall over. Hold up a little bit. You're like white belts are like baby birds, you know, like they'll have them in a move and you're like, they just start falling over before you even freaking hit the move. I'm like, well, I haven't even armbarred you yet. Why are you freaking tapping? But yeah, if you have a friend, you're like, hey, let's do 500 arm bars. Let's just drill 500 arm bars. You should, put a pace on it. Make it, get out and get work out of your work.
Sometimes it's dedicated is because it's still such a new school. There's a lot of white belts, and there's a lot of blue belts now, and not much really above that. You know, there's a couple of purples here and there and stuff. There's a brown, a black. So there's not a lot of like variance in like skill level, but more just less body type. You know, there's people that are my level and then there's people below me for the most part. So when I do get the fortune of like, let's say church comes in to roll or something like that, or JB comes over and I do get a higher belt, and I get to drill with them as a partner, I will like the first few just to make sure that my timing's right. And I'll go a little slower, but after like, I know like, okay, I've got the structure of this move down, then I do go with a little more intensity, a little more speed. And I try to just slowly ramp it up. Like, let's go a little bit faster, make sure I've got it nailed. Let's kick it up a little bit. Now we're full speed. You know what I mean? How fast can I do this while still maintaining the technique and the positioning and not fucking botching it or leaving an opening that shouldn't be there?
Yeah. Yeah, great. Yeah, you have to do that. Yeah, for sure. You think what I'm thinking, bro?
Aim for the bushes.
Actually, before we aim for the fucking bushes.
You have this it?
Kenny, next Monday, Labor Day.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a lot of times there's an open mat at 10 a.m. because Poncho's is probably going to close the gym. And 6 a.m. will still run.
Right.
What if we podcasted on that Monday morning in Checkmate Marietta? Just two mics. and we freaking, would that be possible? We got to, I'm just totally putting this on. Kenny's probably like, hey, bro, I can't do that. I don't know. But I'm just throwing that out there. Like, we could do the open mat, and then we can kind of just bullshit and talk. Just for maybe like because Labor Day, guys, 30-minute pod before the next class comes in. We could do it there, just sitting on the wall. And we could just talk
about what we just did.
We could actually roll, and then we could like just sit on the wall while people are rolling and just be bullshitting and talking. And like,
we could do a single cam side by side, and we can just do mics handheld.
Yeah, handheld mics.
Yeah,
with like
totally.
I think that might be cool.
I need one. The camera would run off battery, but I would just need one extension cord for this.
Yeah, just do my class, and then when rounds start, maybe we get like 2 rounds in each, and then we just sit down and start.
Yeah,
and then like let everybody else continue to roll, and then we'll just go off to like by the flag or something there and just bullshit.
Yeah, we totally do that.
And just like knock it out 30 minutes. So like maybe next week won't be like the 45-50 minute pod, but we'll definitely give you a different look and different action, and maybe could also get some stuff for the YouTube too.
Yeah,
be kind of cool just for Labor Day
for sure. Do that. So, let me talk to the
boss. I got to talk to my boss too.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be cool. Usually when it comes to like those holidays off, she knows I'm gonna go do a early morning thing. So
are you thinking what I'm thinking, Kenny?
Aim for the bushes.
Aim for the fucking bushes. Follow me at O's Nation BJJ. Follow Kenny at Freak Party BJJ. Follow BJJ Balance on YouTube and Instagram and all that good stuff. Follow the BJJ Balance Discord. Kenny will post something on TikTok soon for the BJJ Balance because there's one that does exist. I will post on TikTok also. Appreciate everything, you guys. Screen grab this episode. Tag us. We'll share it. My name is Matt. This is Kenny. And we'll see you next week. Os.